Right. So, as of the time of this recording, we're currently on our way towards a Gunther versus Goldberg match at Saturday night's main event, and it's for the World Championship. A retirement match for a world title that no one asked for. All of this to compete with a company that's not competition, right? Don't worry, that's going to be the most to talk about AEW in this. That's it. I'm going to side with the fact that this is a clusterfuck leading up to Goldberg's retirement match. It was made in a moment's notice with about a month build, but I feel like a Goldberg retirement match warranted more than that. But I want to put that aside for a moment, and I want to talk about this poor son of a bitch. Main event Jey Uso. He's a guy who seemingly slated for the tag team division forever until he had a breakout character moment against his cousin, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. Fans began to cheer for him, yeet for him. All this culminating in a great SummerSlam, that's not great, an okay SummerSlam main event, and if we're being honest, things felt a little questionable at that point. And I think it's because we all knew Cody had to be the one to beat Roman, so using Jey as a what if it's Jey, I don't think anyone really bought Jey beating Roman, at least not for the titles. One-on-one maybe, yeah, sure, but for the titles, I don't think so. I don't really think anyone bought that Jey was winning, so he floundered. Either way, fast forward to 2025, and Jey, if we all forgot, won the Royal Rumble by last eliminating John Cena, which feels like a lifetime ago now. Jey was a genuine shock winner, and he declared that he was going to fight for the world title. Legitimately, it felt like a new star was about to be made. Like finally, they had reverted back to when the Rumble was used to make new guys. Guys like Batista and Cody was already established. Roman Reigns was already... Drew McIntyre. Well, he didn't win it in front of fans. Edge didn't need it. When was the last time the Rumble was used to make a new star? Is it Batista? Taker won it for 23, but he was already a star. 24... had Cena, but he was already an established main eventer. Okay, whatever. Which felt like a lifetime ago. Genuine shock winner. That he would be challenging the giant Austrian for the world title at Mania. Now, in the past years, the Rumble winner typically and ideally should main event at least one of the two night buy three get four free extravaganza. To help solidify themselves as a legitimate main eventer, right? Imagine if Cody had beat Roman in the opening match of night 2. Feels like a lot less of a big deal, right? Now, can you imagine if the unification match between Roman and Brock had taken place during night 1, like the main event of night 1? It would have just felt off. If WWE wants us to take a main event wrestler seriously, they need to be treated as such. So what happened to Jey Uso? Well, he had a clunky feud with Gunther that didn't get good until the last 2 weeks. Or, if we're being honest, they had 11 weeks to fill, but only the last 2 weeks, when Jimmy got bloody, did it actually get good. They sort of built the feud around the sleeper hold that Jey couldn't escape, until he did escape the week before Mania, so they took that part of the story out too. Jimmy got mollywopped and bloodied by Gunther in front of Jey. Okay, that's nice, that's good, but where did any of this lead? Not to the main event of night 2, not even the main event of night 1. But the opening match of WrestleMania, which yes, you can say does have some meaning, but on the other hand, this feud felt like the 4th most important thing on the card, which is pretty accurate in a damning description of how Triple H treated Jey and his run. From WrestleMania to his title loss, he only had 5 matches. He defended the title twice, and he only won once via DQ and once via pinfall in a match that lasted less than 10 minutes against Logan Paul. Like, how are we supposed to take him seriously if WWE won't let us? The title run lasted 57 days. Now, granted, not every title run has to be over 1,000 days like Roman Reigns, but like, it's only the second shortest reign in the history of the championship, and I feel like there's a bit of an asterisk there because, I mean, Drew held it the shortest time. It was only 5 minutes, but that's because he was cashed in on, not because he never had any successful title defenses, which... Someone give Drew the title, please. Like, have him, like, reestablish it as, like, something to be desired. I feel like it's lost some credibility, and Seth Rollins killed himself to do that. Just real quick point. Anyway, Jey was never really afforded the spotlight, but instead he was always looked at as an afterthought, a second or third banana, not really important to a lot of the stories. How can you expect anyone to take him seriously if they never proved themselves against quality opponents? Cena's first title run, granted, ended after 10 months, but he kept wrestling against established stars, whether it was JBL, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels, or others. Even in shorter title runs, it's hard to take someone seriously when they lose the title like that. Edge had that problem back in 2006. He lost the title after a month, but he had such an amazing match at WrestleMania 22 that we were forced to reconsider him as, no, this guy is a main event player. We have to look at him as such. But I don't see Jey being afforded that same luxury. What they could have done is given him the old Dusty Rhodes run where he tries to fight off Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. And yeah, sure, he can lose to Seth in the end, but at least he goes out swinging. But it's damn near career damaging. Almost on the level of Kofi Kingston. Not as bad, but it's close. There's never any follow-up there, and I don't see any follow-up here. Granted, you could say he's in the King of the Ring tournament, but even then, I don't see him winning it back at SummerSlam. Then what was the point of putting the title on Gunther? Another infuriating aspect of it is the fact that the title change wasn't really necessary. Gunther vs. Goldberg doesn't need a world title. They just added it to try and elevate it that much more, which is like giving The Rock and Cena the WWE title at WrestleMania 29. They're so big, they don't really need the world championship, so give it to someone else that the world title can elevate to that level. It doesn't really make sense. It's nonsensical. There's a time and place, of course, to give Jey a proper story, but there is still time, of course, to give Jey that proper run, but that's being rather optimistic. I think right now, from where I'm sitting, Jey's title run will be remembered as a moment, a flash in the pan. Kind of like Dolph's world title win after WrestleMania 29. It was a great moment, but the follow-up sucked. He unfortunately joins Jack Swagger and notable prick Alberto Del Patron in the Hall of Wrestlers that were underwhelming as world champions, that were booked poorly. Lastly, let me be clear. I do not blame Jey 100% at all. 100% of the blame should drop to Hunter, the booker, the guy that could have given him some really good matches, even in just 2 months. He still is super over with the fans, and Yeet is still there. But without a proper story to latch onto, there's nothing really that we can build on. So, in this case, I find Triple H guilty. That said, what do you think of all this Jey business? Let us know down below. We'd greatly appreciate it, and we'll catch you all next time. See you, everybody.